Let's move on. I'd like to pass the floor to the lead expert of the Academy Cryptographic Laboratory, Mr. Marshalko. Hello, dear friends. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about my views and share my views on this forum. I'd like to tell you about the ways we build up artificial intelligence systems, which have a lot of things to do with the ethics. Cryptographic Laboratory is the leading organization in the area of informational safety. Starting from this year, we are part of artificial intelligence project with the main goal to build up the requirements and scientific basis to develop and evaluate safety of artificial intelligence systems. This year, we are considering general security issues, general threats, and counteractive measures, and things related to machine learning and issues to provide anonymization of data and protection from attacks. We should start with the notion of trust. This term is widely used when building up information systems, and roughly speaking, it tells us to what extent the user or interaction party is sure that the system behaves as planned and as designed. This methodology to provide trust is very well developed on the example of information systems related to safe development, audit, and certification. The AI systems have more complicated systems. Unlike classical algorithms, our result in the course of working of the algorithm is related not only to the result, but the algorithm, which is strongly dependent on data, and it is strongly dependent on those people who generate it, who create it, and this provides certain uncertainty. To get specific characteristics of safety and trust of the system, first and foremost, we need to outline the circle of tasks. Every task has the relevant tasks of regression, classifications, or combinations. But nevertheless, we can make this reduction. Further on, we should consider data, model, using framework, and hardware. It all, in sum, would create the system of artificial intelligence. Speaking about evaluation, the following characteristics are considered, like quality, robustness, bias, deviations, and explainability. These are characteristics which are relevant for the normal functioning of the system, where we do not have intruders or intruders are passive. At the same time, we have now a fundamental bulk of publications with active systems. And here we should consider issues of model confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. And how to provide all that? That's the question. If we speak about the classical passive case, the methodology of safety evaluation or system quality evaluation is very well proven. These are errors of type 1 and 2, the precision evaluation methods, different metrics. It is all available, it can be used, it is quite obvious. Depending on the complexity of the system, it could be more complicated, but nevertheless it is available and doable. On top of that, given the data dependency, we should evaluate the data quality itself. First and foremost, this is the sample representativeness. And there are a lot of publications there now on the fairness of systems. They are related not to the fact that the system could be unfair, but the sampling which was used was not representative or was not in line with the application area of the system. Also, there could be technical errors related to the availability of unfilled data, some blanks or deviations, distortions. It all requires certain preparedness. And of course, we need to have adequate statistic models, which also could be a problem. From the point of view of evaluating the trust when we have an active intruder, what system could do in this case? What intruder can do? It could break the confidentiality, it can get access to data and models. It is widely known that we can get data from systems about the students. It is good that this is just pictures, which doesn't need this. But when it is biometric or PII data, this could be a serious problem. The intruder could reduce the general quality of system of recognition, or it can break the protection and get the access to the metric data it could be like a deep fake. Generally speaking, the attack vectors are very wide. They could come through data, through models. Attacks can come from framework errors and even from hardware. What can we do in this situation to provide higher trust to our systems? First, we should improve the dataset quality to provide its provenance. A lot of gaps could be closed by data provenance and quality if we control it properly. Next, we should be sure about our model. It should be robust against attacks. No access of unauthorized users during work and training is provided. We should have full understanding that our framework is trustworthy and hardware is also trusted. It's very positive that this year we have established the Trust Center of Artificial Intelligence, which will be responsible for development of the methodologies of this kind under the auspices of the Russian Academy of Science. We should correctly implement our model, and this is pure programming, secure programming, and as I mentioned before, that the code is constantly changing. Nevertheless, we can use code verification and audit methods, and it all should be placed in the trusted program environment. We should be sure that there are no outer influences, external influences. In some places, we have very well developed specific security mechanism for machine learning. These is robust models, first and foremost, which are able to withstand attacks and endure attacks on the machine learning systems through data systems. The problem is that, yes, they make some protection, but it's not guaranteed, and very often more sophisticated attack, more powerful attack can break through and can be successful. There are confidential machine learning. There's confidential machine learning using cryptographic and encryption methods, zero-knowledge proofs, differential privacy. There are problems with latency, with precision, but nevertheless, we can get guaranteed security criteria there. Generally speaking, we can use classical methodology of information system development, which is liable to cost. There are standards applicable for that. We can start with the evaluation of the application area of quality criteria and safety criteria, and through the conceptual development, through the development of a project, of a pilot, system fine-tuning, development of documentation, which will be used and be reached. From the security point of view, we should speak first and foremost about potential threats. There is methodology. It is more or less understandable. We should understand what are the intruders. We should formulate the requirements to data by different methods, and we should identify the requirements for the implementation. And finally, I'd like to stop on this example, widely known trolley problem, which appears many times in ethical issues of using AI. When we have a trolley with no brakes, which is running with high speed, on one track there's one person, on the other are 5 people. What to do? From the system point of view, it's clear that the example from the very beginning is made, as all those examples, it places us in a no-go situation. If we speak about the system creation, we should set up a certain set of developments which could allow us to avoid this situation. It could be doubling or redundancy of security systems. It is the inspection of equipment by operators. It should be a regulatory control and also some barriers around these tracks and the evacuation service. Well, it all can be covered by the requirements or standards or by a regulator or a community. But indeed, I believe that this example shows the essence, the point of the trusted systems development. Why? Because especially this approach to create systems allows us to get what we want, to get what we call ethical artificial intelligence. This is a system which is designed in a way that it will not place an impossible choice for the user. And this is, I believe, the future we should be keen on and we should strive for, and which gives us some good results already. We should understand that active attacks will flourish, will be developing, and we should live with it as the artificial intelligence systems be implemented and come closer to our life. And from this point of view, it would be interesting not to have the result, but the way we got this result. The trust for this result will be more important. And it can be done only given the setting up the trusted AI systems. These are systems, ethical systems, which will not place us in a very bad situation. In general, that's it from my side. Thank you very much for this opportunity and your invitation, Andrei. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Grigory. This picture, your picture with illustrating this trolley problem is one of the most common topics for discussion on the forums. And it is very pleasant to see it in your presentation. It shows us the outline and very interesting point of view, interesting angle.